Medieval rebellions are often associated with mobs of starving peasants and rusted pitchforks. In the late 15th century, however, the most sophisticated threat to the English throne was known as the pretender. These were imposters, specifically groomed to destabilize the kingdom by convincing the public they were of royal blood. This strategy relied on a massive technological flaw in medieval society. With no photographs and no mass media, the general public lived in an information void. Almost no one knew what the royal family actually looked like. To steal a kingdom, a conspirator only needed a convincing body double who could walk into that void and claim a name. King Henry VII was acutely aware of this vulnerability. He claimed the throne through an obscure Lancastrian bloodline, leaving his legitimacy open to constant challenge. The rival Yorkist family possessed a much stronger, direct legal right to rule England, making them a permanent magnet for rebellion. Henry's primary advantage was that the strongest Yorkist claimants, the two young princes in the Tower, were widely believed to be dead. The last remaining heir of note, young Edward, Earl of Warwick, was physically under Henry's control, locked securely within the Tower of London. Since Henry physically controlled the genuine heirs, Yorkist plotters realized that triggering a war would require them to manufacture a fake one from scratch. The Yorkists' first attempt to topple the king relied on a traditional military uprising led by Lord Lovell and the Stafford brothers. It was a disaster. Henry's state spymaster, Cardinal John Morton, managed a paranoid network of informants that easily tracked and dismantled the conspiracy before it could gather momentum. The surviving plotters realized that a faceless military force could not bypass Morton's spies or inspire the common people to take up arms. Challenging Henry's legitimacy required a living, breathing symbol of the Yorkist cause. In Flanders, a priest named Richard Simmons found that symbol in Lambert's symbol, a common-born boy with an uncanny physical resemblance to the Yorkist princes. Simmons spent months grooming Simnel, exploiting the lack of visual records to teach the boy the etiquette, speech, and posture of high royalty. When rumors spread that the Earl of Warwick had died in prison, Simmons pivoted. He began telling the public that Simnel was actually the Earl, having narrowly escaped the Tower. The conspiracy moved to Ireland, where the Earl of Kildare accepted the fiction and crowned the boy king in Dublin. This new king attracted international backing. Margaret of Burgundy, a Yorkist loyalist, funneled massive amounts of gold and soldiers into the plot. Simnel was no longer just a boy. He was now the figurehead of an army of Flemish and Irish mercenaries commanded by veteran Yorkist officers. The rebel cavalry pushed aggressively toward London, engaging the king's vanguard in a series of desperate skirmishes. The rebel momentum finally stalled near Nynham, where they met heavy resistance at the edge of Sherwood Forest. King Henry VII had arrived in force. He raised a wall of shields and spears to block their path, bringing the full weight of the royal army to bear. The two forces were now locked on a collision course at the Battle of Stoke-on-Trent. In an era of low information, perception defined political reality. Henry VII was now forced into a brutal war to defend his crown against a carefully manufactured fiction.